Now, what's really funny is, am I going to rely on my interpretations of Dr. Oliver Petrovich, or am I going to rely on Peter's interpretation of Dr. Oliver Petrovich, or should I rely on
my interpretation of what?
Your interpretation, or shall I rely on Dr. Oliver Petrovich's interpretation of her own research? What's better? Is to use her interpretation of her own research, right? That's what we've done, and we've done this with many academics. So I'm typing Oliver Petrovich here.
So you emailed her, basically?
Of course I emailed her. And I asked her, according to your research in the journal and all other research that you've done, is atheism a learned psychology? Which I announced at that lecture in front of young Muslims. What does she say? Dear Andreas, thank you for your message and apologies for delayed response. I study the development of religious cognition, especially the concept of God, and how it emerges in early childhood. It is on the basis of that research as a whole that atheism does not appear to be an early development, but a position that is acquired later on as a result of many factors, particularly in adulthood and through education, formal and informal. I have given conference presentations and interviews where this point was made. I am currently writing a book, however, where I will say something more about adult religious development too, and this would include a reference to atheism. The book should be published later in 2016. So as you can see here, she's just clarified, or she's just exposed that what Peter's done is actually wrong. She has said there is research. She said her research indicates that atheism is a learned psychology, and she's also said that her book is coming out. He said it might not come out, that book. He said there was no research, and he called me a liar as a result of that. But I've contacted her myself. She said that her research in general and specifically implies that atheism is a learned psychology.
I stated that the research specifically being discussed did not exist in a published journal article, and I noted repeatedly that she had discussed preliminary results at various conferences and intended to publish a non-peer-reviewed book in 2016, the same book she's been intending to publish each year for the past several years, hence I questioned whether it would actually be published. What I did note, however, is that it appears said research will never be published in a peer-reviewed journal article as needed to test its validity. So for you to come and claim that I've misrepresented you when I have all of the discussion documented is really suicidal. Now, I've noted to you repeatedly that I don't give two shakes about Petrovich's personal opinion, as it's just that, opinion. I have always asked for research which she herself noted that she has given talks on, but not actually published. Now, if it is not published with its methodology, sample size, and the operationalization of its terms, then it is meaningless. It is worthless. It is junk. I mean, whilst most creationists with credentials have them in random fields like dentistry or from degree mills, there are a few, in fact, with genuine degrees, but you never find them publishing peer-reviewed journals for these beliefs. Now, I don't care about the beliefs, as people can hold to a double standard as displayed through your demand that I contact you before publishing my videos, a standard you yourselves have never lived by. You had no basis to make your claims, as shown through my evisceration of your listed references and your poor attempt to save yourself here. You've failed to give what you claimed, and now you expect me to do what? Say you were right? It does not work that way, Hamza. At least you could learn from this and keep your mouth shut about Petrovich in future until she has published her research in a peer-reviewed scientific journal disclosing sample size, methodology, and the operationalization of her terms. Until then, be quiet.
So he even said he would apologize.
For you, I not only send it to you on YouTube, but I used to try out on Facebook, no response, So then I began sending it to you directly on Twitter. If you then showed how I was actually wrong, I would retract the claims made, retract the claims made, retract the claims made, retract the claims made, publish a public apology, publish a public apology, publish a public apology, publish a public apology, and then I would have no reason to continue spreading what had then been proven to be false or without reasonable basis. If I did, you could call me a liar, like I am calling you out, for doing this with the information on various social scientists, as well as your claims that you've looked into a field, yet you have absolutely no clue on that field. You know, that's what I'd have to do. I would have to stop there, halt it, or then it would be slander or libel.
Yeah, and you know what? This deserves an apology on many different levels.
What utter rubbish. You have continued to lie and to cheat in attempts to get by me and pull a fast one on your subscribers. I read every single one of your references. They were rubbish and did not even touch the topic, as people can see in this video. Now here you've attempted to use the personal opinion of Petrovich as if that were equatable to research published in a journal article. I will genuinely apologise when you do what I expect. I will not apologise when you continue to lie to try and save yourselves. You insult my ability and my intelligence.
No, I don't want an apology. I just want him just to contact us. What I mean by contact us, to clarify again, is to contact us before you do videos. So I want his videos to be as good as possible, because I am a true believer of what John Stuart Mill said, that we have this marketplace of thoughts and ideas and we challenge each other and the best ideas come out. And I truly believe that Islamic ideas, Islamic thinking will always prevail. Yes, we'll do lots of mistakes here and there, and we've learnt from our mistakes and we want to continue, but you can't start calling people liars when they're not, especially on these issues, when I actually have shown you the research, gave you the reference, and emailed the academic herself and asked for her own interpretation of her own research, which is against and contrary to his view.
Yeah, and I think we can conclude on that point. And
except for the fact that everything I have stated still stands, as your bastardized notion of proving me wrong has only dug you deeper into trouble. You've been silent since my video pulling apart your supposed references, showing them for what they were. Absolute rubbish. So even if I had allowed you to restrict what I am allowed to say in bringing everything past you first, an action you yourselves have never acted on, I still would have come out thinking that you two are liars. In fact, I come out thinking that you are even greater liars than before. And I mean that in the sense that you've had to lie further, and not that your lies are effective to those with the ability to check your assertions and the urge to do so. Had you been smart, you would have admitted that you'd been dishonest the first time, apologised, and moved on. Instead, you thought you'd take on little old me and I'd be an easy target. You really underestimated my abilities to come back at you. All you have managed to do is arm me with more evidence that you are a dishonest bunch of Islamic fools who are barely able to tie their own shoelaces, let alone can be trusted to remain true to their word. That is all that has been demonstrated throughout this conversation.
I would just like to make an announcement to Peter. Looking at what you've done and looking at Hamza's clarification, I don't think you're in any position to continue a dialogue with us, basically. This is what I truly feel. But nevertheless, in the right spirit, I'd like to invite you to the IRA office to have a discussion face to face. Let's not hide behind the computers.
That's excellent.
Let's not hide behind the screen.
Well, let me suggest something, Imran. So, Peter, come to the office. We'll pay for your travel fare, your food, your expenses,
your entertainment,
halal entertainment. Bring your friends, bring anyone you want, bring your equipment, live streamed.
Whatever you want to do.
You have your own recording. Nothing is going to be kind of dodgy. We're nice guys, by the way. You know, we're great socialites. We'll
Hopefully
have some nice dinner. I don't know what food you like. You know, if you like Chinese, we'll get you Chinese. If you like Mexican, we eat Mexican. If you whatever. And what we'll do, you have a debate with Imran.
discussion more.
Because
We'll have
Imran
a
was the
discussion.
founder of the LDM
Well,
channel.
I helped out
Yeah.
with a few other brothers.
You're
which was-
humble, of course, and
The truth.
And I think what's very important is that you have a discussion with someone like Imran on these key issues, whether it's atheism or related issues, and the invite's there. It's open-ended invite.
More than happy to do
Meaning any day, weekend, non-weekend,
Yep.
we'll get your travel sorted and your friends, and everything's gonna be fine. And this is an office, we're a charity, so don't worry about it. Everything is cool, and I think that's great. Because instead of going for tit for tat on these misrepresentation, on these videos, if you really believe in the strength of your ideas, then debate them with Imran. If you really believe in the strength of our ideas and concepts, debate them with Imran. And it'll be warm and nice, it won't be crazy debates, because if you need lots of time, we'll give you lots of time. If you want a 4-hour debate, a 5-hour debate, a series, it's up to you, do it. If you want to bring books and references. And I'm going to even say this, if you feel that you feel pressured, or you feel that you have been misrepresented during the discussions, raise your hand and we'll stop and we'll repeat it again. I'm telling you, we're giving you everything easy for you. And you know why we're doing this? Because now is the time for the online narrative to be like this. None of this binary thinking, you have someone misrepresenting and someone saying this and someone saying that. And it's all wrong. And I think we've shown in this kind of vlog, this video post today, we've actually shown that you've misrepresented again. And when you caught us liars twice, you're wrong on both occasions.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want an apology, but I want you at least to come and debate Imran. Let's see if you can do that. And if you believe in your ideas and you believe in the strength of your ideas, then debate Imran. Do it. And there's the challenge. And everything's there for you. It's easy. All you have to do is be there. That's it. There's no excuse, okay? And I think you'll have a nice time. And it's not going to be like we're going to be friendly. Let's do it in a nice, friendly manner. That's what we need. But what we just don't want is this gross misrepresentations. Have a debate with Imran. There's a challenge.
So hopefully this has been beneficial. Thank you for watching. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
Now, besides the continued dishonest portrayal over what you have and have not shown, the offer is tempting to say the least. Personally, I would very much like to travel to London and have a discussion with you, but there are a number of things that really bother me. These things are nagging me from the back of my conscience. One is the showman's art. My videos don't do well in how I say things. They do well on a factual basis, i.e. the basis of my points. A lot of this comes from my ability to check what you have asserted and display how various parts are false and dishonest. Without my computer, I lose this ability, and a discussion is more likely to be perceived to have been won not on the basis of how accurate one's claims are, but rather how charismatic they are as a speaker. Not always, but this can be an issue. At home and at my desktop, I can check your asserted references. At your work office, this is difficult. Then of course it is a long way to go and a reasonable amount of money. Of course, you claim that you will pay for my travel, but how am I going to ensure that? I could turn up to your offices after having travelled for a couple of hours, only to be denied access as you've suddenly changed your mind. You may think that this is merely me being paranoid, but you've done this sort of thing before, online, and on top of that, in real life, you have gone back on your word on such things as publishing Hamza's debate with Dr. Arif Ahmed. So, from this, the best case, I go home after wasting a lot of time and money. The worst case, I attempt to get in due to not wanting to be screwed around, and I get arrested. And no, I do not put this as beyond you, as I have seen you hit below the belt. But even if I did get there, I would be entering a hostile environment hosted by people I have displayed lying repeatedly with evidence. These are in fact the same people who have labelled me as childish and even criminal in nature through my supposed slander of Hamza. I merely pointed out how he was deliberately attempting to misinform me and other students. You stated that I'd set out to make fraudulent statements to cause him financial and personal damage. On top of this, Imran is just your fall guy. I mean, it is a bit of an insult for you to push forward the guy you always throw in front of the cart whenever you are being questioned, like on Twitter by the rationalizer. I sort of feel sorry for Imran, and yet you believe that your time, Hamza, is just so much more valuable than mine. So whilst you expect me to go out of my comfort for several hours just to reach you, you can't even appear at your workplace. Now, do I insult you and say I will send my fall guy in my place? No. Well, that may be helped by the fact that I do not have a fall guy. If I screw up, I apologise, as I am a one-person party for the most part. But again, it is very tempting still. It must be my Danish ancestry welling up for all my British sternness and caution, telling me to bugger that, charge in and just go in and do it. I am, as of yet, quite clearly, undecided. Maybe I shall later, maybe not. Yet there are ways you could help me along by reassuring me of the decent nature of your intentions. For starters, how about publishing the debate Hamza had with Dr. Arif Ahmed as a sign of goodwill? Then perhaps we should consider looking for a neutral venue. Now, not necessarily a debate hall or anything, as I am not a debater. My primary goal is to be a critic, but I'm sure some of the atheist, humanist and secular societies in London would be more than happy to co-host a neutral space with their Islamic society, just somewhere outside the IERA offices. Also, if Hamza could stop hiding from discussion with me, that would be excellent. The only time we had talked in person was him talking down to me, and that's not really a conversation, as we were on uneven footing. These are just some thoughts I'm throwing out there. We of course still have my offer of an online talk, both live and recorded. I know you think it's me hiding behind my computer screen, but in actuality it is being able to check what you have just said. I'll also let my subscribers discuss things down below. I'll let them inform my decisions further, as maybe one of them will raise a point to swing me either way. Anyway, this is turning out to be an interesting couple of months. I look forward to seeing your actions, whether they be of goodwill or bad intention. The ball is now in your court. That is all.